first video about the urinary bladder. So about the urinary bladder, this is our highlight of how we are going to handle it. And so to mention something in introduction about the urinary bladder, we see that the urinary bladder at birth, the urinary bladder is always in the abdominal cavity, actually in the lower part of the abdominal cavity, because by that time the pelvic cavity is always too small. Then in children, as a baby emerges to a child, there the bladder assumes a pelvic abdominal place. That means it is in between the pelvis and the abdomen. Then in adults, the bladder is always, actually an empty bladder in adults is a pelvic organ, and it is found in the most anterior compartment of the lesser pelvis behind the symphysis pubis. Then for a distended bladder in an adult, for it distends into the abdomen and pushes on the parietal-peritoneum, of the abdominal wall of the anterior compartment of the lower abdominal wall, for a distended bladder which pushes up to the parietal-peritoneum of the lower anterior compartment of the abdominal wall. Now that is it about the introduction. So this time we come to shape. About the shape of the bladder, you can refer to this diagram. The diagram you see here. So this is for an empty bladder, and as you can see the shape, it is but this is the lateral view. This shape, the bladder. Now we can start with the empty bladder. An empty bladder, it is a four-sided pyramid. Four-sided pyramid. As you can see the shape, this is more of a pyramid. Then maybe to put it in a layman's language, it is like when you cut a sheep, the anterior view of a sheep. When you cut it, it looks like that. That is it for the urinary bladder. So it is a four-sided pyramid. And this four-sided pyramid, it has got four surfaces. The four surfaces, as you can see on the diagram, we have the superior surface, which is here. Then we have two inferolateral surfaces. One is here, the other one must be this side. Then we have a posterior surface. I said four surfaces. A posterior surface, which is here, is behind here. And that posterior surface is the one we call the base or the fundus. Then now, four surfaces. I think you got them. Superior surface, two inferolateral surface, and the posterior surface. Then we have this empty bladder in a pyramid shape. It has also got the four angles. The four angles, one is the anterior angle. The anterior angle is this one, where we see the apex. This is the anterior angle. So the anterior angle, it is the apex. Then we have an inferior angle. The inferior angle, it is where we see the neck here. This is its inferior angle. Then we have two superior-posterior angles. Superior-posterior, that means it is on the posterior surface, but superior, where we see these ureters trying to enter at their point of entry into the trigone. You know the trigone is at the posterior surface. So at the point of entries of two ureters, it's why we see those two superior-posterior angles. So those are the four angles. Then also it has four ducts corresponding to the four angles. One of the ducts is the urachus. The urachus is the one which after birth it is obliterated to form this median umbilical ligament. But before birth it is always called the urachus here from the apex. Then the other one is the other one is the ureters. The ureters, we said they are corresponding to the two superior-posterior angles. Then we have the internal urethral meatus, which comes from here. Internal urethral meatus at the neck or at the inferior angle. So that is for the empty bladder, about the shape. Then for a distended bladder, on the shape, For it is ovoid. As you can see, this shape, this is distended. This is an oval shape. So it becomes ovoid. And for ovoid, that means for it has got still 4 surfaces. And the 4 surfaces, you have 2 lateral surfaces. The 2 lateral surfaces, then it has also got the apex and the inferior. It has got the 4 surfaces. We have an anterior surface. Then we have, it is actually called an infero-anterior surface. Then we have a supero-posterior surface and 2 lateral surfaces. That is for an ovoid distended bladder, the one which is full. It has 4 surfaces. One I said it is the antero-inferior surface, then supero-posterior surface, and 2 lateral surfaces. Then it has 2 angles, only 2 angles this time. It has the apex, which is the anterior angle. Then it also has the inferior angle, which is the neck. So that means when the bladder distends, the 2 supero-posterior angles, they disappear. So that is it about the shape. We can come to relations. About the relations of the bladder, that one will take, we'll use diagrams, and we'll start with the relations of the bladder in the male, because they are different from those in the female. So in the male, about the relations of the bladder, we shall see that if we start with the relations of the apex, so to look at the apex, for it you will find that it is related to, the apex is actually behind the upper border of the pubic symphysis. I think it's not clear from this diagram, but it is behind the upper border of the pubic symphysis. This is the apex. So I believe the pubic symphysis is around here, so it is behind the upper border of the pubic symphysis. Then to continue, we can talk about the relations of the anterior border of the bladder. The anterior border of the bladder, I didn't talk about it earlier, but for it, it is the joining, actually the meeting of 2 inferolateral surfaces, where they meet on the anterior, in the anterior area actually. Below the apex, they form that anterior border. So that anterior border is behind the retropubic fat. This retropubic fat is found in the retropubic space, and that space is also called the cave of Retizius. So it contains fat, and so it is this retropubic fat that separates the anterior border from the pubic symphysis. Then we can come to the relations of the superior surface. When we look at the superior surface in the male, here, this superior surface, this one, the white lining, it is the peritoneum. So you can see that the whole of the superior surface in a male is covered by peritoneum. And here the diagram is not showing it, but this superior surface is related to the coils of the ilium and the sigmoid colon. Related to the coils of the ilium and the sigmoid colon. Then, continuing, we can come to the relations of the posterior surface. For the posterior surface here from the diagram, you can see that the peritoneum, the posterior surface starts from around here. So that means the peritoneum covers about a half an inch of the posterior surface. You can see this peritoneum continuing here. So it covers about a half an inch of the posterior surface. Then the remaining part is devoid of the peritoneum. Then still this posterior surface, it will be related to this rectum, as you can see. It is related to the rectum, but it is separated from it by this coiling of the peritoneum. And this is what we call the rectovesical pouch, this one. It separates it on the upper view, it separates it from the rectum, separates the posterior surface of the bladder from the rectum. Then down, it is separated by